Hey guys, this is me, Biddy. I asked you guys to do a value breakdown of a crumpled piece of paper. It's one of the best ways to learn how to draw observationally. So what I'm going to do is take my HB to kind of get a general contour drawing of the form itself before I actually go into detail with the values. So the trick to this, and you have to remember this, is to go from general to specific, okay? First thing you want to do is get the general form. So I'm going to do that right now, just real quickly. And when you start, you're going to want to do this really lightly, okay? Because inevitably, you're going to end up needing to erase stuff. So you don't want to get ahead of yourself. The other thing that I always advise is sort of don't get too caught up getting details in one area. Kind of move around, get a general outline for the entire shape or form first, like I'm doing here. I'm just getting kind of the major folds, and I'm going to whip out my eraser if I really need to. The other thing I'm doing is I'm seeing, for instance, where this little corner here lines up with this part here. So I'm trying my best to just quickly get the proportions right, which I think are not perfect, but for the sake of just giving you an example for this video, I'm going to let it slide. Okay, so that's the general outline. Once I have that down, I'm kind of going to go back in, and I'm still using my HB. If you're somebody who draws really lightly, you might want to switch to a 2B pencil. But I'm going to just go in and sort of darken a few of these lines and maybe give it a little bit more character, or straighten out some of those edges that were sort of wrong. Like here, I'm seeing that one slopes down toward the left a little bit more, and I think that there's a little bit more of a point right here than I drew. So I'm kind of thinking about the character of my line. Is it a real confident line? Is it kind of loose? This sort of goes like that. I'm going to darken this here because it's a little bit closer to the edge. There's more of to the big shadow here in this area. So I'm just going to define it a little bit more. Okay. Alright. Now, going back to my HB, I'm going to start blocking in the major shadows, okay? Like I said, go from general to specific. So let's see, I'm going to start with this piece here. Really, really lightly. If you're somebody who presses really hard, using a B pencil or a 2B very, very lightly might actually work better for you, because the H pencils are actually harder, and it'll tear up your paper if you're pressing really hard. Okay, so do you see how this is a lot lighter? The line's a little bit more broken. And again, I'm just getting the really general shadows here. I'm seeing that there's a little bit of darkness there. Let's go over here. So this fold here actually goes in a little bit more. There's a highlight right here that I definitely want to capture. A little middle gray here in this section. And I'm seeing a little highlight in this corner too. So I'm going to block that in. And here's a really light gray right here. Another really light gray. Really, really subtle gray right here, this whole area. Okay, I'm going to leave that now for a second because I want to block in some larger areas before I get, I'm really tempted to get into all these little details, but what happens with the value breakdown, the whole point of it is to, when you go in to do your shading, you're not going to see these lines that you're drawing because you're going to be actually blending with the pencil and filling in those shadows. So that's one reason for making it really, really light. Because you're going to end up blending it and you don't want a big line where you're trying to blend it and take away the contour. Okay, I'm seeing a big shape right here that is dark. Looks like it ends about there. This is another value here I'm seeing. By the way, guys, it is hotter than anything in this studio right now. I'm sitting in my studio with this bright light directed like right on my face, so I hope you appreciate all the pain and trouble I put into this for you. Just kidding, that was kind of dramatic. No, but seriously, it is hot. Okay, so that's a dark spot. I'm going to put that right there. There's sort of a fold happening right here. And a little light gray. Okay, let's put in this kind of fold right here, the edge of that fold. Okay, looks like it goes like that. So the edge of this little crinkle here sort of lines up with this. So I'm going to use that to line it up. Okay, let's see where I am. Okay, so I've got that major part locked in. There's a little dip there. And this sort of goes down like that, super light gray. There's sort of a dark corner right here. This area here I'm seeing is really dark here as opposed to here. Okay. So you're trying to fit these puzzle pieces together, is basically the concept. This is too high up. Tiny little highlight right there that's really beautiful, so I don't want to lose it. This here is I've advised some of you to get one of those brushes, and I really, really recommend it. Because I can already see how I'm smearing my graphite after I wipe away the eraser. So it's a great tool. You should get one. Ooh, I love this right here, this shadow. Boop. A little darkness there. Okay, let me see. There's a big curve right here that I think is really beautiful. Cuts that off, and swings down that way. Alright, I'm just going to stop there. But you can keep working on this, add a little bit more detail, and, ooh, actually I want to get this part down here too. Okay?